Do you want to increase your sales or engagement on Instagram? Well, if so, you're in the right place. I just finished recording a 1-hour live training on how to use DM automation to increase your engagement while selling and increase your click-through rates and purchase rates. Without further ado, let's hop into that training. But I want to welcome everyone. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. In case you don't know who I am, my name is Brock Johnson, and it's my job to help you grow on Instagram. That's my specialty, is helping other people grow on Instagram. Myself personally, I've grown from about 60,000 followers in 2021 to now over 660,000 followers today in 2023. I've been growing at a rate of about 1,000 followers a day. And it's my job to teach you not just the strategies that are proven to help you grow your following, but most importantly, the strategies that are proven to get you engagement and to help you transition your followers into customers, into leads, into sales. Because at the end of the day, if all we're doing is gaining a following and building, a large community, there's not much to that, right? We need a way to transition those people offline. If we are business owners, which I would assume many of us are, or we want to be, we want to make an income online, we can't just have followers. Followers are great. A community is valuable, but at the end of the day, we need a way to transition those followers into customers. Last time I checked, the views on your reels aren't paying the bills. Last time I checked, the number of followers you have aren't putting food on the table. So we need a way to actually transition those followers into paying customers. And we're going to talk about today a way that you can do that, that is actually shown to increase engagement. Type a number, I was going to say type a 1 again. We've already typed enough ones. Type a capital A in the chat right now if when you go to sell or promote things or offer a course or a membership, whatever, when you go to sell on social media, your engagement goes down. Your views go down. People become crickets. It goes quiet. Suddenly everyone's okay. Lots of A's. Type a B if when you go to sell, your engagement goes way up. You get way more views. Your best posts are always your sales posts. Or do we have any B's? I would type a B myself. I don't see any other B's. And it's fine. If you are a B, I would love to ask you some questions at the end of tonight's training, but it makes sense that most of us are in the A category because that's why you're here, right? And that's what I'm going to teach you, because there are strategies that you are likely using that are being taught by so many other social media coaches that unfortunately aren't the most effective strategies. And in many cases, the strategies that are being taught, and this isn't because they're trying to lead you astray, they're not trying to maliciously lead you down the wrong path, but they're just using outdated strategies. You're using the same strategies that everyone else is using, and it's not working for anyone else. So of course, it's not going to work for you either. All right, we're going to get into the training in just a second, but I do want to say before we even get started tonight, everything I'm going to share with you is a general best tip, a recommendation. There's no one size fits all. There is no one universal answer or solution to your problem. I'm going to give you what works for most, and it's your job as an entrepreneur, as a creator, as a business owner, to test, to implement. It's not our job to have all of the answers, but rather to ask all of the questions. So I'm going to give you some answers tonight, and then I want you to fact check me. I want you to test things out on your own account, try some of these strategies for yourself, and if they work, awesome. Keep using them. That's great. If they don't work for you, if your business coach who you spent thousands and thousands of dollars on tells you to do something else, by all means, give that a try. And if that's working for you, do that. All right, we're going to get into the actual training tonight. We are talking about increasing sales and engagement with DM automation. But before we even get into DM automation, let's first talk about the DMs. Why do the DMs matter? Well, first and foremost, I think this one's pretty obvious, for relationships. DMs are best built, or relationships are best built in the DMs, right? There's that song, it goes down in the DMs. That song was written because that's where relationships are made. That's where you connect with people. And that might be where you slide into, the next boyfriend or girlfriend, but that also is, as a business, where you connect with your customers. That is where you build trust. The number one most valuable asset that a business can have in 2023 is not a fancy sales page. It's not a popular podcast. It's not a viral TikTok. It is trust. Because let's be real here. We've all gone through the last few years, right? Every human who's alive today who's, let's say every adult human who's alive today has gone through the last 3 years. We've all lived through 2020 and 2021 and 2022. And we're all like, who can I trust? Who's being real with me? Who's giving me honest, authentic information that I can trust, that I can rely upon? And what businesses can I trust? And trust is built through relationships, and relationships are in the DMs. What else? Why else do the DMs matter? They matter for serving people. And I know we're talking about sales, and I know we're talking about engagement, but when you can serve someone on a one-on-one level, it is so impactful. And then finally, of course, selling, right? That's why we're here. We're talking about selling. We're talking about sales. And in fact, here's a little statistic for you. On average, when you are trying to make sales, followers are 73% more likely to buy from a business that they've had a prior DM conversation with. What is DM automation? In its simplest definition, DM automation is a tool that can automatically respond to and send messages to other users in its simplest definition, but that's kind of confusing. So we're going to talk about that a little bit more. I do want to give you a warning that DM automation is only allowed on Instagram with an approved Meta partner like ManyChat. So there are lots of services, there are lots of websites that offer DM automation, but it's only legal. It's only allowed if you're using an approved partner like ManyChat. Not every company is. Some companies are kind of sneaking their way into Instagram. All right, but what is DM automation not? Because I think this is the more helpful thing to talk about, because you most likely have a lot of preconceived notions about DM automation, a lot of concerns about, well, is it this? Is it hard to set up? If you can attend a Zoom, which you can, because here you are, you have the technical capabilities to set this up. So I want you to right now type in the chat. I need everyone who's attending right now live to type in the chat, I can set it up. You have to type that full sentence. I can set it up. I can set it up. If you have the ability to type the words, I can set it up, you have more than enough technical capability to set up DM automation. So the excuse of it's too technical, it's too hard to set up, there's too many asks. No, it's not. I'm going to show you how at the end, how easy it is to set up. It's as simple as dragging and dropping. You don't need to know how to code. You don't need to learn some new fancy software. You don't need to download a new app with new buttons you've never heard of. If you know how to just drag and drop, move things around, you have the capability of setting up DM automation. Next, it is not 100% automation. This is one of the biggest misconceptions that people have, is that once they turn this switch on, suddenly every single message they ever receive is getting an automated response. Type number 1 in the chat if that was something that you believed might be the case with DM automation, is that once you turn it on, now all of your DMs are automated. 100% of the responses are automated. I see a fair amount of ones in the chat, so I'm glad I shared this. It's not 100% automation. You get to customize and control how much is automated and how much is not automated. So you could literally automate one little tiny conversation. It's not 100% automation. Type a number 2 in the chat if you were worried that DM automation is spammy and inauthentic. It's spammy, it's inauthentic, it's salesy. Type a number 2 in the chat if that's you. DM automation is not spammy and inauthentic, and let me tell you why. You are not messaging new people. That is not a capability of DM automation, at least not with ManyChat. You are not able to send messages out to new people. Who's ever received those messages that are just from random people? You've never met them before. You've never had a conversation. Type me in the chat if you've ever gotten those, where it's like, hey girl, I see that you're on a fitness journey. I'm wondering if you want to try my new shake. That's not what this is. In fact, that's not even possible with this. I wish I could do that. I wish that I could DM every single person on Instagram and be like, hey, do you need Instagram tips? Follow me. I wish I could do that. That'd be awesome. But no, that's not possible. And if I did do that, it'd probably be pretty spammy and inauthentic. That's not what this is. DM automation is when someone who follows you, someone who finds your posts, they reply, or send you a specific keyword. They are asking for this. They are asking for the automation. They are asking for the link. They are asking for what you are going to sell them. You're not just sending it out to random people. You're not just that door-to-door salesman knocking on the doors like, hey, would you like to try this product? No, you are specifically sharing this link or sending this message to people who have asked for it. So it's not spammy. And in fact, it allows you to be more authentic, because now you don't have to worry about having this automated message that you have to like type out manually every single time. Instead, you're able to dedicate more time, more energy, and effort into creating more authentic content and engaging with people in a more authentic way. So that's a really common misconception. The next misconception that people have is that it's only for people with thousands of messages or huge followings. Type a capital H in the chat if you logged on to tonight's training thinking, I don't know if this is for me because I don't have a huge following. If you logged on to tonight's training because you're like, okay, like this works for Brock because he's got 600,000 followers, but this isn't really for me. DM automation is for anyone who wants to save time and increase their engagement. It doesn't matter if you have 50 followers or if you have 500,000 followers. And then finally, expensive. Type a capital E in the chat if you thought it was expensive. If you thought I was going to say this costs a couple $1,000s to set up. If you thought I was going to tell you this costs, $300 a month. It's free to set up, free to get started. 100% free to get started. As your business grows and you're messaging thousands of people every day, then it will start to cost you. But by that point, you're messaging thousands of people a day. Your business can afford it. But when you're first getting started, it's free. DM automation is not the spammy, inauthentic, hey girl on a weight loss journey. That's not what this is. It's also not these. Has anyone been getting a lot of these messages recently? Type me in the chat. I'll send someone a message and I'll get an instant automated reply. Hi, thanks for contacting us. We've received your message. No. That'd be like if every single time I called your business, I got sent to the answering machine. That is not what this is. That is spammy. That is inauthentic. That is 100% automation. That is not what we're talking about. So what are we talking about? What are the benefits of DM automation? First and foremost, faster responses. Why does that matter? Why do faster responses matter? Because you might be thinking, well, Brock, I don't get very many DMs as it is. I can handle it on my own. Type that's me in the chat if that's you. If you're like, Brock, I don't get that many messages, like I can handle it on my own. I'll be able to respond to everyone on my own. And like, admittedly, if that's you, say that's me. And that's totally fine if that's your thought coming into this. Here's the problem though. Every single minute you wait is a minute that person is losing interest, is a minute that is hurting the chances of that person becoming a customer or a lead. In fact, according to Forbes, the average lead response time is 47 hours. That means almost 2 days on average. Maybe you're like, well, Brock, I'm better than that. It only takes me a few hours. It only takes me sometimes even a couple minutes. The likelihood of reaching a shopper within 5 minutes is 10 times higher than if you wait 10 minutes. Think about that. So if you're someone who you're like, well, Brock, I usually respond to them the same day. It usually only it takes me a couple hours to respond. Sometimes I respond pretty quick. The likelihood of reaching shoppers decreases by 10x if you wait 10 minutes versus 5 minutes. That is why the faster you can respond, the better. Every single second you wait is a second that they might be losing interest, closing Instagram, doing something else, getting distracted, buying a different product, searching for a different solution. And so time is of the essence. And so if you want to respond immediately, I think you have two options. You can either have it as an automated response, or you could spend all flipping day on your phone, sitting here waiting for a DM to come in just so you can quickly respond. As far as I'm concerned, none of us want to spend any more time on our phones. So that is one of the biggest benefits of DM automation. Not only is it faster responses, it's also advanced interactive tools. I'll talk more about this later, but you can do more with a service like ManyChat or with DM automation than you can just on your own. Third, more people opening your messages. The average direct message on Instagram, guess what percent? Guess what percent is opened? What percent of direct messages on Instagram are opened? Is it 50% of messages? Is it 20% as Maggie guessed? Is it 80% of messages on Instagram? What percent of messages on Instagram are opened? I'll give you a little hint on email. An awesome email open rate would be like 30 or 40%. Like if you sent an email out to people and you had like 30 or 40% of those people opening the email, that'd be awesome. Ready for this? 98%. 98% open rate. 98%. We all have unread emails, right? We all have like hundreds of emails in the spam folder that we're never going to open. How many unread DMs do you leave sitting there for days? Probably not very many. 98% open rate. And then finally, more purchases and clicks. We've seen up to 10x. We've actually now seen with some of our students up to 30 times more purchases and clicks when using DM automation. And let's talk about why. When I talk about promoting things on Instagram or selling something on Instagram, what comes to mind first? Like when we're talking about how you actually do that, you're actually going to send someone to a link. How do you do that? Answer me in the chat. Like if I was like, hey, I have this, this phone case and I need you to sell this phone case to your followers. How are you going to show them that link? There's kind of like two main options. Don't overthink it. The link button. Yeah. Cassie said the link in bio or the link sticker on the stories, right? Like those are the two main options. The link on stories, as Madison said, or the link in bio. Of those two options, the link in story is more effective. Generally speaking, the link in story gets more clicks than the link in bio. But let's talk about the link sticker. Let's talk about that link on your stories. And what does it actually look like? What are the actual numbers? The link sticker on Instagram stories. There's a few problems with this link sticker. I already told you it's more effective than the link in bio, but it still has some problems. And those problems include, on average, these are averages. These are not the Brock numbers. These are not, our students. This is across Instagram as an average. 40% fewer views, a 1% click rate, no follow-up, and no relationship. You have no idea who clicked. You have no idea if they had problems. You have no opportunity to build a relationship with them. You have no opportunity to follow up if they get lost or confused along the way. So let's look at this in like real numbers, because these are abstract percentages. Let's look at the actual numbers. Type me in the chat if you have approximately around 1,000 followers. Approximately. Maybe you have 800, maybe you have 1,200, maybe you have 15, maybe you have 2,000, maybe you have somewhere around 1,000 followers. All right. So if you have approximately 1,000 followers, on average, your stories will reach 4.8% of those people. That means, on average, if you have 1,000 followers, you will reach about 48 viewers on your stories. That's on average. That's starting point. That's starting point. Now take those 48 viewers and multiply it by 40% less viewers, because you put that link sticker. You're trying to promote something. You're an affiliate. You have a new course. You have a membership, whatever it is you're selling. You put the link sticker. Now you've gone from 48 views down to 29 views. 29 views times a 1% click rate is 0.29 clicks. So it's no wonder that you're struggling to make sales, right? It's no wonder that people aren't buying. You're using strategies that are hurting you. You're using strategies that are not very effective. Does this explain a lot? Does this, like, yes or no in the chat? Does this explain that it's not necessarily that there's something wrong with your product? It's not necessarily that there's something wrong with you or your offer. It's not that you're not pretty enough. It's not that you don't have the best filters. It's not that your product sucks. It's not that you're overpriced or that you don't know how to sell. The problem is you're just using an outdated strategy. You're not using or selling, I should say, in the most effective way possible. So let me share with you how DM automation can change that, how selling in the DMs can change that. This is our 2023 InstaClubHub data. So this is not what I'm showing you right now. These percentages, these are from our InstaClubHub members. So that's why they're slightly higher than what you saw on the previous slide. This comes from, we have about 10,000 members in the InstaClubHub. And as you saw on the previous slide, the stories click rate was about 1%. Remember that? For our InstaClubbers, the average story link click rate is a little bit below 4%. It's about 4%. So a little bit higher, but still pretty low. The average link click rate in the direct messages, 74.5%. When sending someone a link in the DMs, on average, about 3 out of 4 people will click on that link. I know I called her out earlier because she was the first person to turn on her video, but Lee, I am loving your facial expressions. I am loving how many times I have seen Lee make this face about 10 times in the last minute, and I love it. So we're going to talk more about this. We're going to talk more about DM automation. I'm going to show you how to set it up. I'm going to talk to you about the features. I'm going to give you some tips. If you're already ready to get started, which again, it's free to get started, shoot me a message on Instagram right now. Do not put it in the chat, because if you put it in the Zoom chat, nothing will happen. If you go to my Instagram right now and you send me a direct message with the word ManyChat, you will receive a link to get started for free. I'll also put it in the actual Zoom chat right now. Let me pull this into the Zoom for you. So if you don't have the ability to open Instagram right now, or you don't want to, or you're on your phone, there is the link in the actual Zoom chat. Does everyone see that in the Zoom chat? Yeah. Okay. It's right there in the Zoom chat. Everyone can see that. I'll put it a couple times so that you see it. There we go. 3 in a row in the Zoom chat. All right. So you can send me a message, or let's just keep going. DM automation tips. Number 1, start simple. Let me give you an example. My dog's birthday was last week. And my dog has her own Instagram account. And so on my dog's Instagram account, we set up an automation that was super simple. You want to know what it was? It was whenever someone said, "Happy birthday," they automatically got a response that said, "Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Let's celebrate. Let's have a party," with like PAW, party, party. You get it? There's a pun. Start simple. That's as simple as you can get. She's a dog Instagram account with thousands of followers. So she got a lot of messages wishing her a happy birthday. And rather than my wife and I spending an hour or 2 out of our day responding to every single happy birthday message, we set up an automation so that those people felt appreciated, so that those people got a response that just said thank you. Second tip, don't automate everything. We've already talked about this. Do not try to, you're going to overwhelm yourself if you do that. If you're like, I'm going to automate everything. I'm going to imagine anything that anyone could ever possibly send me, and I'm going to come up with an automated response. No, that's super inauthentic. That's not it. That ain't going to work. Don't try to do that. Number 3, and this is a great way to keep yourself authentic, to keep your messages honest. Be clear when it is automation. Oftentimes, when I'm telling people, hey, comment the word cool and you'll receive a direct message from me, I'll let them know that you're going to receive an automated response with the link. I'm not trying to hide the fact that I'm using automation. I'm telling them. Sometimes I put it in the response so that when they get that message, they type the keyword and then they get that automated response. The automated response says, hey, this is the Brock bot just sending you this message because you asked for it. Hey, this is the Brock bot, Brock's automated robot assistant, being very honest and transparent. I'm not trying to trick people into thinking they're actually talking to me when they're not. I'm being honest, being clear when it is automation. Number 4, don't just sell. Do not use, I know we're talking about increasing sales and engagement, but do not just use automation to sell, or else people will stop responding. Type a number 7 in the chat if you're attending tonight, which you obviously you are, but you showed up and this whole time you've been thinking, well, Brock, I don't get that many messages. I don't get that many DMs. No one's really commenting keywords for me. No one's really doing that. That's because I would bet oftentimes the way you're asking them to engage, or the keywords you're asking them to send, or the things you're asking them to do, it benefits you. It's something that's helpful for you. It's a sale for you. It's a promotion for you. It's your new YouTube video. It's your new podcast. It's your new course. It's your new product. It's your company's new sale. What's in it for them? Use DM automation to serve your followers, not just to sell to them. What does that look like? Maybe you're going to give them a free download. Maybe you're going to give them a free gift. Maybe there's a coupon code. Maybe there is a bonus tip. That's one of my favorite ways to use DM automation. I'll make a post. I'll say, here are 3 tips to becoming whatever. 3 tips to growing on Instagram. 3 tips for figuring out your hashtags. 3 tips for making more money, whatever. And then I'll put in my caption, comment the word 4, and I'll send you the 4th tip. Comment the fire emoji, and I'll send you a bonus tip. Now I'm using it to serve my audience rather than just sell to them. And I'm training my audience. Now they're getting used to DMing me. They're getting used to commenting. They're patterned. They're habitually engaging with my content because they know they're going to get something out of it. Not because I'm going to sell to them, not because I'm trying to take their money, but because I'm trying to serve them more effectively. So don't just sell, serve. Next, use easy and short keywords. Easy and short keywords. I try to keep my keywords to just 1 word. And when I say keywords, again, I know I haven't explained it explicitly, but essentially how this works is your followers send you a keyword and then they get an automated response. Or your followers comment a keyword. They don't even have to send it to you via direct message. Sometimes you can set it up so that all they have to do is comment on your post with that keyword. Then they get the direct message. Use short and easy words, things that are easy for people to spell. And then finally, write the messages in your voice or your tone. If you're someone who's more casual, write your messages more casually. If you're someone who's very professional, then make your automated messages more professional sounding. Just write them in your voice using words that you would use. Now, who wants some examples? Because I always feel like examples are helpful. Type me in the chat if you feel like some examples would be helpful. Yes. Okay, awesome. Yes. All right, let's do it. Let's do some examples. I'll make sure my volume's cranked up here. All right. So here's this first one. You're going to see that she does 3 things in this video. She first introduces the problem. Then she offers a solution. Then she tells her followers, her viewers, to comment the word blank, and she'll send it to you. So she introduces the problem, and the problem that she introduces in this video is, do you want to, and you can kind of see it on the screen right here, do you want to burn stored body fat? Here's how. How could you do this for your niche? Insert whatever your niche is. What's the problem that people are facing in your industry? What's the problem that you solve? What's the problem that your product solves? What's the problem that your followers know they have? In her case, she's an RDN, and she said that a problem that her followers have is they want to burn stored body fat. So she introduced the problem. Then she shared a solution. She taught for a little bit. She gave some tips. And then she said, I have a guide. I have a free guide to help walk you through this in more detail. That was her solution. Comment the word guides and I'll send it to you. Comment the word guides and I'll send it to you. That's what her video essentially said. Now, Shauna here, on average, gets about 100 comments per video. On average, Shauna receives 100 comments per video. Guess how many comments she got on this video? She averages 100. So did she get a little bit less? Did she get 100 people asking for the guides? Did she have more? Did she have 200 people? Did she have 2 times more comments? Guess, go ahead in the chat. Who can guess how many comments she received? Over 1,000 comments. She normally gets 100. She got over 1,000. That's 10 times her average. So maybe you only get 3 comments. What would 10 times your average be? 30 comments? 30 people asking for your free download? 30 people asking for your link? 30 people asking for your course? Tracy said, what? That's amazing. Where's Tracy? Right here. Tracy knows how amazing this is because Tracy uses this herself. Tracy is one of our all-star InstaClubHub students. What if you sell a product like Tracy does in this video? This video, if I can get it to play, it's very short and to the point. She then uses ManyChat to grow her challenge with a keyword on the video. And Tracy from this video got over 200 comments. It's super short. It's super sweet. It's to the point. In this video from Shauna, she was giving like a very educational direct to camera. You can see she's talking directly to the camera, just like I am right now. What I love about this video from Tracy is she's not even speaking in the video. It's just, if I remember correctly, like a trending audio with some quick videos put on top. Over 200 comments from that one video. Another example here, you can look these up. You can fact check me if you want to. This one comes from Your Jewish Life. She has a planner, a journal for Jewish women. And so she created this reel that was just kind of documenting her own use of her journal. It was literally like she lit the candle, as you can see here. She like got out her journal. I think she like laid on the edge of the couch. She sat on the ground. She started writing in her journal, closed it up, walked away. It was like a 7-second video with a little Jewish song in the background. She said, you can kind of see it down here at the bottom in her caption. She said, comment JJJ if you want a Jewish joy journal. And this generated over $300 in journal sales in one day. So Mitch, who asked, what if you're selling a service? What if you're selling a product? Insert whatever it is that you want to send. I don't care if you're sending someone a Jewish joy journal, or if you're selling an affiliate juicer like Tracy was in this video, or if you're selling a service, like maybe this is a guide, maybe replace guide with coach in Shauna's example. Rather than sending people the link to a guide, you're selling people a coach. You're going to do coaching. That's a service. What if this? What if that? Insert your own niche, insert your own problem, insert your own solution here. Again, I know I put this up already. If you are ready to get started, it's free to get started. Message me the word ManyChat. I'm telling you about this not because I get a kickback. I don't get anything from you signing up. But you, if you message me the word ManyChat, or if you go to the link, which I will put in the chat right now, you can sign up for free. And if you use code BROCK with a capital B, B-R-O-C-K, if you use that code, you get 1 month of their pro features for free, because there are some bonus features. There are some advanced capabilities of ManyChat that aren't with the free subscription. And so if you use code BROCK, when you are at checkout, you get 1 month of the pro for free. I'll write that in the chat as well. Code BROCK, 1 month pro for free. And the great thing about that is you could try it out for a month. Now there's same features on Instagram as well. What is the difference? Is there the same feature? So this is not offered on Instagram. Instagram itself does not have DM automation. Listen, we all know Instagram's got a lot of glitches, right? Type a capital G in the chat if you know Instagram has a lot of flippin' glitches. So I don't trust Instagram, and I think they very wisely don't even trust themselves to try to set this up. I mean, Instagram won't even let me post a reel without my text glitching and deleting part of it, and the audio's gone. So if Instagram can't even get reels figured out after 3 years, I don't think they could figure this one out. That's why they've partnered with ManyChat. That's why ManyChat is an official partner of Instagram. It is a service, a tool that you add into your Instagram tool belt. Official partner They're BFFs, Instagram, or I should say Meta and ManyChat. They're BFFs, so it's a partner. You're not going to get banned or blocked. It's totally legal to do this. And that's why I recommend using ManyChat. It's free to get started. It's simple and easy to use, and it leads to better results. It leads to more sales. It leads to more clicks. How much is it after the free month? It varies depending on how many messages you're sending and how many contacts or followers you have. So if you have thousands and thousands and thousands of followers and you're getting hundreds of messages every single day that are using automation, because that's a key distinction, it only will charge you based off the messages using automation. Well, then you're going to be charged more. But if you're someone with a relatively low following who's using this very intentionally, you're not using it for hundreds of messages a day, well, then you're not going to be charged nearly as much. That's why I can't give you like a flat fee, because it isn't a flat fee. It's based off how many followers you have. Would this work for realtors? Yeah. What we're not going to get into, because we're going to get into Q&A in just a second, but what I need everyone to promise me we're not going to do is ask one or two variations of these one or two questions. Would it work for scuba instructors? Would it work for real estate agents? Would it work for coaches? Would it work for network marketers? Would it work for? Yes. It works for anyone who wants to spend less time and increase their engagement or sales. That's who it works for. So if you're someone who wants to spend less time on Instagram and yet serve their followers in a more effective way, then yes, it works for you. All right, so we're not going to do, that's not the question we're going to do. We're also not going to do, how would it work for? Let's talk about some bonus features. Some bonus features before we open it up for Q&A. We will start Q&A in just a second. 3 bonus features that I want to specifically show you right now. And there's so many more. I don't want to overwhelm you, but for some of you, I know you're excited. I know Lee is fired up. So I just want to show you some of these bonus features just to tickle your fancy a little bit. So first of all, this is a bonus feature that you can't do in normal DM. You can do it with ManyChat, and you can do it with DM automation. You can have multiple choice options. So what does that look like? Some of you might have received this message when you were signing up. If you signed up via DM, if you signed up for today's training via direct message, you might have received this message from me. This was after you gave me your email. It said, excellent. If you would like to receive SMS offers on exclusive upskilling courses, please let us know. Yes, please, or no, thanks. I'm giving people options. I could even add a third that says, what does this mean? Will I be charged? What are the SMS offers? What are the courses? Essentially, you're giving people options, and based on which option they choose, they can get a different response after that. So I could be like, are you ready to join this course? Yes or not right now. If they type yes, they're taken directly to the link. If they type not right now, it might have an automated response that says, okay, I totally understand. What questions might you have? How could I help you? Okay, would you like this discount code? Automatic responses from multiple choice options. Another, and this next one is one of my all-time favorites. In-app lead generation. In-app lead generation. You know how normally when you're trying to buy something on Instagram, or you're trying to like sign up for some subscription, or maybe you're signing up for a free thing on Instagram, you're trying to get a download. Normally, you would have to go to the link, right? You're in Instagram. You have to then go to the link and type in your name and email. Type in number 1 if that's what you normally do. I would assume that's what we all normally do, right? Like whether you're clicking the link in bio, a link in stories, or the link in the DMs, you click on it, and then it kind of like opens this mini browser within Instagram. And then from that mini browser, you have to like then put in your information, right? What if your followers didn't have to go to that link? What if they didn't have to click and go to your landing page and then type in their name and email address? What if they could just put that in the DMs and then automatically be added as a lead, automatically be put on your email list, automatically be subscribed or signed up? This is possible with DM automation. So here's a little example. This guy sent me the keyword get messages. So he received an automated message. Then he tapped to register. And I said, you've got it. Or I should say my automation said, you've got it. What email address can we send the webinar link to? Which is this webinar that you are watching right now. This gentleman might be on this webinar right now as we are speaking live, or he might be watching on the replay. What email? He typed his email right there in the DMs. He didn't have to go to a separate website. He didn't have to leave Instagram where he's having fun, where he's getting all this dopamine, where he's engaging and watching videos and content and reels. He can instead just comment right there in the DMs, and it will automatically put his email onto my email list. Then I sent him that automated message from before, right? Where it showed, excellent. If you would like to receive SMS offers, yes or no? He said, yes. Okay. What's your mobile number? Now I can collect his phone number right there in the DMs. All of this without leaving Instagram. And then finally, this is a brand new, actually, I shouldn't say it's a brand new feature. It's a brand new feature that needs more attention. It's a feature that has actually been around for a little bit, but it's something that is a focal point of Meta, a focus of Instagram, a focus of ManyChat. It's called CTX Ads. CTX Ads. Now, I know not everyone here runs advertisements. I know not everyone here does promotions, but if you are someone who does run ads, if you are someone who does do promotions, or if you have a marketing team, if you have an ads team, tell them about this. CTX Ads stands for ads that click to direct message. So type a number 5 in the chat if you're struggling to reach new people on Instagram. Your organic posts are not reaching new people. Yeah, lots of 5s. You don't have to run ads. I want to make that overtly clear to you. You do not have to run ads. You do not have to pay Instagram a cent. You do not have to promote posts. It is a myth that in order to grow on Instagram, you have to pay. That is a myth. That has been disproven time and time again. You do not have to promote things, run ads, or pay Instagram or Meta or anything like that in order to grow. But with that being said, now that we're all on the same page, ads are beneficial. There's a reason why every major business and corporation runs ads, because they are a great way to reach new people, to connect with a quote unquote cold audience, people who haven't seen you, who don't know you. And the awesome thing about CTX ads is that we've seen up to 600% higher return on investment. That means for every dollar that you invest in your ads, let's say on average, for every dollar you invest on ads, you make $2 back. You would now be making $1,200 back, up to 600% higher ROI. When I saw that, that's all it took for me, because I hadn't been using this strategy. This is something that's new to me. And that's part of the reason that we're doing this webinar today, is because I wanted to tell you about this feature right here, because some of you have heard about DM automation before. Some of you know what DM automation is, or you've heard me talk about it. But this one blew my mind when I was like, you can run an ad and people will click from the ad rather than going to your landing page, your sales page, your marketing, whatever. They're going right to your DMs. They're clicking from the advertisement right to your DMs. That's powerful. Ads reach new targeted Instagram or Facebook users. This is basically how this process would actually work. Then the users stay in the app. They stay on Instagram and they engage with you on Instagram right there. You're not sending them somewhere else. You're not asking them to leave Instagram. They're staying in the app and engaging. And then the chatbot starts the sale, or it maybe even finishes the sale. It can automate. You can automate it so that maybe it only sends one message and then you are going to finish the sale. You are going to have a conversation. You are going to finish the sale, or the chatbot could do that for you. So if you have questions, please put them in the chat. I understand that this is a huge topic for so many of us. I understand this is a new topic for so many of us. I know there are going to be so many questions. So go ahead, pop them pop them all in the chat. Do you have YouTube videos or IG that focuses on CTX ads? Awesome question. Actually, I have a link for you. So ManyChat, who, of course, they're the creators of this, they're the experts of this. They have an entire webinar showing you how to set this up. So Nick and anyone else who you were excited by that very last thing I talked about, CTX ads, here, I'll put that in the link or in the chat. I'll put that link in the chat. So there it is right there. Everyone can see that. Events.manychat.com. I want everyone to stop questions for just 1 second so that we don't lose those links. Everyone sees those links in the chat. It's events.manychat.com. That is a webinar, a free webinar. I believe it's free, that ManyChat created so that anyone who wants to learn more about CTX ads can actually learn about setting them up and how to create them. I'm not an expert in that myself. I don't claim to be. I'm not going to try to teach you something that I don't know. So I would highly recommend watching that webinar. I watched it myself and it was very informative, very helpful. And I immediately sent that to our ads team and was like, you guys need to watch this. But with that, let's answer some more questions. All right. Will you be showing us tutorials on how to do it? I will show you right now a very quick explanation of how to do it. But I also want to tell you this, on ManyChat's website, they have hundreds of free tutorials, free templates that you can use because they want to make this easy for you. And they don't want you to feel overwhelmed by, having to learn a new skill necessarily. So on their website, on ManyChat.com, they have tons of free lessons, free tutorials, but I'll pull up right now and show you exactly what my ManyChat looks like. So I will, here, let me show you right now. Okay. Here we are inside of my ManyChat. I'm going to go to the big blue button up here in the upper right that says New Flow. New Flow. This is all it takes. You need to do 2 things. Set up a trigger and set up what's going to happen. And you can see down here, there's even a little help bot. I'll get rid of that little help bot. So set up a trigger, what's going to trigger the automation and what's going to happen. So let's set one up live right now and you can help me test it. Let's set one up right now. So let's set it up so that when a user sends a direct message, I could do comments, replies to a story, user clicks a referral link, or let's do this one. User sends a direct message with a keyword. Let's say the message contains the word, let's see, what word? Give me a random word in the chat. Let's do a random word in the chat. What word should we use for this random automation? This is just for us. This is just live. No, not France. Yes, France. France. I'm not going to do live or chat because those are one. Actually, we're going to do avocado. We're going to do avocado because I feel like people are probably messaging me like, I hope you enjoy France. So let's do avocado. Avocado. Ooh. Avocado. All right. So now that's the keyword. Keyword is avocado. Now what's going to happen next? You can see this little arrow. What's going to happen next? Well, I want them to get a message on Instagram. And what do I want that message to say? Let's add my text. Let's tell them, get back to the training. Now I press publish. That's it. I'm done. That's how easy it is to set up DM automation. Now anyone, and you can test this out. Go ahead, go to my Instagram right now and send me the word avocado and then let me know in the chat, did it work? Did you get this response? I'll give everyone a few seconds here. So now whenever this, supposedly this is how this should work. Tyler Hill said, yep, it worked. Yes. Yep. How do I add the link? I press add button and I can say Google, or I can actually name the button. So let's say click here. Oh, click here. And I'm going to have it. Oh, so look how easy this is. So right now I'm adding a button. Look, it tells me button title. I'm going to enable it, name it, click here. When this button is pressed, what do I want to happen? Well, I want it to open a website. Well, what should the website URL be? What about google.com? Done. I'll hit publish. Boom. Now, for anyone who sends the word avocado, you can try it again. If you send me the word avocado, it's going to say, get back to the training. Click here, and then they're going to open Google. That is how easy it is to set up and use DM automation. So I'm going to actually delete this right now because I don't want someone to send me the word avocado in the future and get this. Actually, I'll leave it up. I'll leave it up. And for whoever sends me the word avocado in the future, they'll just be confused. They'll be like, wait, what training? All right. If you are doing a brand deal, would ManyChat be an acceptable way to share the link? Crystal, you just struck gold. Crystal, you just struck gold. You are able to charge brands, say you're doing a brand deal or a partnership, you're able to charge them a lot more when you use DM automation. Why? Because you can promise them better results. You can promise them more clicks. You can promise them more people actually visiting their site, more people actually purchasing whatever it is that you are promoting for them. So yes, admittedly, selfishly, I wish no one would do this because I do this. And I love being able to tell brands, I'm going to get you 46% higher conversion rates because I'm going to use this fancy thing called DM automation that no one uses yet. I know in a couple of years, everyone's going to be using DM automation. I've been talking about it for the last year and a half. I'm still waiting for everyone else to get on board. You, because you're at this training right now, you have the opportunity to start using this tool and be one of the early adopters. Be one of the first people to start using this tool before everyone uses it. Before everyone uses it and it becomes oversaturated and overused and everyone's over it. Right now, it's not too late. How do you do that when selling a product? Same thing. Once people DM you, are in your ManyChat world, can you mass DM them? No, yes, and no. So Crystal's question was basically like, once someone sends you one keyword, can you just send that person a message at any time? Not really. They have to specifically subscribe. That's a whole different thing. That's a whole different tool within ManyChat that basically they can subscribe to receive messages from you anytime. And that's another, I mean, we could do an entire training on that, but essentially how that would work is you set that up, you set up that flow within ManyChat. And then when someone subscribes, now you can send that person a message at any time. You could send them a promotional message. You could send them a link. You could send them whatever at any time. So that is advanced. It is possible, but very few people are using that right now. Yes, it would be great for a flash sale. Instead of adding the link to your story, add the link to the automation. Yes, absolutely. They are not case sensitive. No, DM automation is not case sensitive, but a pro tip, include typos. Include typos. So like when I set up the automation for ManyChat, the word ManyChat, people might say many space chat. They might type mini chat, like MINI chat, because they misunderstand how I'm pronouncing the word. They might, someone one time asked, am I saying Manny chat? Like the person's name, Manny, Manuel, Manuel. Am I saying Manny chat? So I include all those typos so that if someone does send me a keyword and they have a typo in their keyword, they're still getting the automated response that they expect to receive. That's a pro tip. But no, it is not case sensitive. So it doesn't matter if I do, capital A in avocado or all lowercase avocado or all caps avocado. It is not case sensitive. There are a bunch of ManyChat trainings within the InstaClubHub. Yes, Allison. Awesome, awesome. Can you delete a ManyChat if you want to use that keyword again? Yes, yes, absolutely. I do this all the time because sometimes I'm doing a training and I want to set up an automation for it. And 5 months later, that word would be the perfect keyword for a new training. You can absolutely delete it and set up a new one. So again, if any of you want to experiment with this, you want to try it out, you're ready to get started, just send me, Brock 11 Johnson, send me the keyword ManyChat. Send that to me on Instagram. Don't send it to me in the Zoom chat. Nothing will happen if you do that. Send that to me on Instagram. I'll also put the link in the chat in case you are not able to pull up Instagram right now, or you just don't want to. There's the link in the chat, ManyChat.com/meet-Brock Johnson. You'll see my face on the page, and that is the link where you can learn more about ManyChat. You can get signed up for free. And also, if you use my code, use code Brock with the capital B, that is case sensitive. Use code Brock. You'll get 1 month of Pro for free. Well, I want to thank you so much for being here tonight. I want to thank you for taking the time out of your day, your morning, your afternoon, your evening, no matter when you're watching this. Thank you for spending this day with me. I appreciate it. I want you to pat yourself on the back. There's a lot of other things you could be doing right now. There's a lot of other areas you could be spending time on, but you chose to get better. You chose to learn and to grow. So thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. The replay will be up within probably about 24 hours, and I'll send you an email once it is, in case you need to rewatch this, or in case you need to send this to your team to make sure that they watch this. So that should be up very soon. But thank you so much, and enjoy the rest of your day, evening, night, good morning, whenever it is. Thank you so much.